Hello friends, how are you? So I hope you all are doing great. So let's continue with our session, and we have been discussing about material costing. In the last lecture what we discussed was the various levels of inventory. We started with the reorder level, then we discussed about maximum level, minimum level, average stock level and the danger level. I hope you have all of you have gone through this properly, right? All of you have revised this lecture, right? You have gone through with the handbooks, you have gone through with the questions. Now, we are starting with another very important topic, that is economic order quantity, or we call it as EOQ. Okay, before starting with this topic, okay, one question we are yet to do. I told you in the last lecture we'll first do question number 3, right? Now, this question number 3 will help in the revision of what we have done in the last lecture. Okay, this is not related to EOQ. This is related to what we have covered in the last lecture. Okay, all those who are having the handbooks, they will find it as the question number 2 in the handbook on the second page, material costing. Let's see, question number 3. In manufacturing its product, a company uses 3 raw materials A, B and C, in respect of which the following apply. Raw material A is given, B is given and C is given, right? Usage, what is given? Usage per unit of product, 10, 4 and 6. That means for making 1 unit of the finished product, 10 kg of A is used, 4 kg of B is used and 6 kg of C is used, right? These are the raw materials. What is reorder quantity? Reorder quantity is how much quantity we are ordering at one time. Okay, 10,000, 5,000 and 10,000. Price per kg is given. Delivery period in weeks is given 1 to 3, 3 to 5 and 2 to 4. That means this particular is the minimum period. This is the minimum period, right? And this is the maximum lead time, right? In between these two we will have the average lead time. Now, what is order level? Order level is 8000 and 4750. What does this order level mean, sir? This order level is nothing but reorder level. Okay, and we are given the minimum level for C, that is 2000. Now the weekly production varies from 175 to 225. Weekly production varies from 175 to 225 units. Okay, averaging 200. What would you expect the quantities of the following to be? Minimum stock of A, maximum stock of B, reorder C and average stock level of A. Right? Shall we start? First we'll write what is the requirement. The first requirement is minimum stock of A. Okay, sir. So we have question number 3. First part says minimum stock of A. How you calculate, sir, minimum stock? Minimum stock of A. How you calculate minimum stock? Minimum stock is reorder level minus normal consumption or normal usage, we can say, multiplied by normal lead time. This is what I told you. Now, what is the reorder level for A? Let's see. This is A. This is A. What is the reorder level for A? See, be careful with the difference between reorder quantity and reorder level. Reorder level is the level at which we are placing a fresh order, and what is the quantity of that fresh order is known as reorder quantity, right? So do not confuse with reorder quantity and reorder level. Clear? In the last lecture, I took the example that 3 kg level is the reorder level and I ordered a bag of 10 kg. That 10 kg is my reorder quantity. This is the difference. Now we have to take reorder level for A, that is given as 8000. So I can write it as I can write here as 8000. Now what is the normal usage? Normal usage. Now many of the students will say, sir, 200 is the average. Normal means average, sir, right? So we'll take 200. Clear? Okay, I say let's take 200 here. That is the normal usage. It is given to you. What is the normal lead time? What is the normal lead time for A? Sir, 1 to 3. That means the average lead time will be 2. Sir, is this correct? No, this is wrong. Why? See, I told you when we talk about material costing, we talk about raw material. If you take this 200 is what? This is finished product. What it says weekly production varies. So this is the production of what? Finished good. So how to calculate the normal consumption of raw material? Here what we have to take is normal usage of raw material, right? See, for making 1 unit of the finished product, how much of A is used? 10. For making 200 units of the finished product, how much material A will be required? 200 multiplied by 200 multiplied by 10. Okay. Then multiplied by the lead time. Is that clear? So this is where you have to be very careful. And guys, I tell you, in the examination, this is one point where institute will try and test you, right? That's why this question, I have picked up this question. Institute will try and test you on this thing, and majority of the people will do it wrong if you are not conceptually clear. They will take 200 multiplied by the lead time. Sir, this 200 is the average of finished goods, not the raw material, right? So the first part is done. We are done with the first part, sir. Second, maximum stock level of B. First we will write what is maximum stock level. What is maximum stock of B? What is maximum stock level, sir? Reorder level plus how much more you have ordered minus what is the minimum consumption, and the minimum lead time. Right? What is the reorder level for B? Is it given to you? Reorder level for B is given to you, that is 4750. Okay, I'll write 4750, right? Plus, what is the reorder quantity for B? It is given as 5000. Okay, I'll write 5000. What is the minimum consumption? Sir? Can you tell me the minimum consumption for B? What is the minimum consumption for B? Sir, minimum production is 175 units. For 1 unit, you use 4 units of B. So for 175 units, how much consumption will be of B? Right? So here I will write 175 multiplied by 4. Clear? This is the minimum consumption. Now multiplied by the minimum lead time. What is the minimum lead time? 3 days? 3 weeks or 3 days, whatever it is, weeks. 3 weeks. Multiplied by 3. Is that clear? Any doubts in this? Right? So this is 4750 plus 5000 minus 2100. This comes to 7650 kg. Everything clear up till this point? Are we good to move ahead? Shall we? Okay. So maximum stock level of B is done. Now the reorder level of C. Reorder level of C. First we'll write, sir, what is reorder level? First we have to write what is reorder level. Reorder level, that is maximum consumption multiplied by maximum lead time, isn't it? Of C. So we have to calculate it for C, right, sir? Now tell me, what is the maximum consumption? What is maximum consumption? 225 units is the maximum production. So consumption will be also maximum at this level, 225 multiplied by 6. Right? So it will be 225 multiplied by 6, right? Multiplied by, what is the maximum lead time? What is the maximum lead time for C? That is 4 weeks multiplied by 4. Clear? So this comes to 5400 kg. This is reorder level of C. Now, what is the last part? Last part is average stock level of A. Now, they've asked you about the average stock level. Average stock level, I told you we can calculate it by two ways. Okay, first we'll write how we can calculate it. Let's see, average stock of A. Right, so there are two ways of calculating it. One is maximum level plus minimum level divided by 2, right? Or the other way is minimum level plus half of reorder quantity. Now let's see the question, what information is given to us. Accordingly, we will see which formula can be applied. First, we'll come to this maximum level and minimum level divided by 2. We are talking about which, sir? We are talking about A only. At this point, we are talking about A only, right? For A, what you have? Do you have the maximum level for A? Sir, have you calculated the maximum level somewhere? No, sir. Do you have the minimum level of A? Yes, sir, this minimum level we calculated here, but we don't have the maximum level. Can we apply this formula? Sir, we cannot apply this formula. We cannot apply this formula. Sir, coming to the second formula now. What is the minimum level of A? What is the minimum level we just calculated in the first part? Okay, sir. We calculated in the first part, that is the minimum stock of A, 4000 kg. Okay, I'll write it as 4000 kg. Right? 4000 kg plus half of reorder quantity, ROQ. What is the reorder quantity? 10,000 units. So I can apply this multiplied by 10,000 units. That means 4,000 kg plus 5,000 kg. That is total of 9,000 kg. Right? Now, some of you might ask me, sir, no, we don't want to apply this formula. We want to apply this formula only. We want to solve it by this formula only. You have to teach us how to apply this formula even if I don't have the maximum level. Even if I don't have the maximum level. Okay, sir, there is no problem in that also. You can solve it by this formula also. Sir, how? For that, what you will have to do is, you will have to first calculate the maximum level of A. How you can calculate the maximum level? Sir, you are given the ROL, you are given the ROQ, you have the minimum level, you have the minimum lead time. You can calculate the maximum level of A. This is your homework. This you have to do on your own. Now, this formula you have to do it on your own. I'm giving you a big hint. Sir, for this, this is calculated in part 1. This is calculated in part 1, right? This is the question mark. So that means if you have to apply this formula, that is maximum level plus minimum level by 2, for that, what you will have to do is, you will have to first calculate the maximum level of A. Okay, first calculate maximum level of A. Maximum level of A. This will be reorder level plus reorder quantity minus minimum consumption into minimum lead time. You have all the things now. You have the reorder level with you. You have reorder level, you have reorder quantity, you have minimum consumption and minimum lead time. So first you will have to calculate the maximum level of A, then minimum level you have calculated in the first part divided by 2, you will get the answer. Okay, this is your homework now. And you have to give the answer in the comment box, sir. This is the answer. It will vary. It will not come to 9,000. It is not necessary that it will come to 9,000 kg. No, sir. I told you in the last lecture that in case of average level, the answers will vary by both the methods. So nothing to worry about it. That's why I'm saying you have to give me the answer in the comment box. Right? You have to tell me what is the answer for this. I've given you the hint how to calculate it. Clear? Sir, in the exam, what we should do? In the exam, you should directly apply this formula, sir. Why to waste time on calculating the maximum level? Because it involves an additional step now. First, you will calculate maximum level. Then you will calculate average stock level. In this way, we can directly calculate the average. So in the exam, it is always preferable that you should save time. You should follow the method by which you can save your time. Okay. So with this, question number 3 is done. Right? We are done with question number 3, sir. Right, sir. Question number 4 and 5 we'll see later on now. Clear? So now we'll start with a new topic, that is economic order quantity. Again, a very, very, very important topic, sir. Very important topic. Very, very, very important topic, right? Now, you have decided that what should be the quantities of inventory that should be there in your store. Clear? Your mother has decided what should be the quantities that should be there in the store. Now comes the economic order quantity. What is meant by economic order quantity? Economic order quantity. Right? Let's start. Let's take an example first again. Say your monthly consumption in your home, monthly consumption of potatoes is 10 kg. Right? Now let's take two scenarios. We'll take two scenarios. This is scenario number 1, and this is scenario 2. Right? What is scenario number 1? Sir, in the scenario number 1, what your mother is doing is, she is asking your father, she is asking you or your father to bring 1 kg potato after every 2 or 3 days. Right? Let's take the second scenario. Second scenario is, the second scenario is, your father is bringing, she has asked your father to bring, 10 kg potato at the beginning of the month. Right? Are you getting the two scenarios? I'm just framing the example. These are the two scenarios. The first scenario is, she will ask your father to go to the vegetable market and bring 1 kg potato after every 2 to 3 days. And the second scenario is in which she will ask to bring the 10 kg potato at the beginning of the month and no need to go anywhere in between. Okay. Now let's try to understand the pros and cons of these two scenarios. Let's take scenario number 1 first. Okay. Now, what will happen in the scenario number 1? Sir, two things will happen in scenario number 1. What? One thing, your father will have to go after every 2 to 3 days to the vegetable market. Sir, if the vegetable market is say 2 to 3 kilometers away from your home, your father will go on a car or a motorbike, obviously, right? To bring that potatoes. What it will involve? It will involve what? Cost. What cost? Sir, petrol or the diesel cost or fuel cost, I can say. Right? It will involve fuel cost. Because after every 2 to 3 days, your father will be going to the vegetable market and just bringing 1 kg potato. Right? And it might be the case that 1 kg potato is for 20 rupees, but the fuel cost is for 30 rupees. Isn't it? This can be the scenario, sir. Clear? But what will happen once the potatoes come to your home? Your mother will not face the problem of storing the potatoes. Right? Storage will not be an issue. Storage will not be an issue, right? It is an easy thing to store 1 kg potato, isn't it? So I've taken two things. One is the fuel cost will be there. The fuel cost will be quite high because your father will be going to the market every 2 to 3 days on the car or the motorbike, right? On the other hand, your mother will not face the storage problem because storing 1 kg potato is no big deal, right? Every one of us has that much capacity in the home to store 1 kg potato. That's it, right? Coming to scenario number 2. What will happen in the scenario number 2, sir? Coming to scenario number 2. Sir, in this case, okay, in this case, the fuel cost will be high. In this case, the fuel cost will be low. Why, sir? Because your father is going to the vegetable market only once in a month. Here he will be going for say 14-15 times in a month, and here he will be going only once in a month at the beginning, right? So the fuel cost will be obviously low. Obviously, sir. In scenario 1, he will be going 14 to 15 times in a month, and in the second scenario, he will be going just once. So obviously the fuel cost will be low. Clear? On the other hand, your mother will face the storage problem. Your father will bring 10 kg potato at home. Now, your mother is in a dilemma. How to store this 10 kg? Where to store this 10 kg? Storage will be a problem. Storage will be a problem, right? Now, can you see the two scenarios? Try to analyze the two scenarios. In first scenario, fuel cost is high and the storage is not an issue. In the second scenario, fuel cost is low, but the storage is a problem, right? Now, EOQ says, economic order quantity says, sir, try to find, economic order quantity says that, sir, try to find the in-between path, where the fuel cost is neither too high, neither too low. Storage is neither, the storage cost is neither too high, the storage cost is neither too low, right? So in between, we will have the EOQ. That is economic order quantity. How much quantity your mother should order and your father should bring at one time in a month. What should be the quantity of potatoes that should be bought from the market in one visit, so that the total fuel cost is also low and the storage is also not an issue, right? The two conditions should be satisfied. Now let's try to read. It is the optimum level of order quantity that should be placed with the supplier. In this case, the supplier is, who is the supplier? Your father is the supplier, sir. And who is placing the order? Your mother is the boss. Your mother is the mother is the one who is placing the order, so that our total cost of purchases is minimum. Clear? Okay, sir. So we have two methods for calculating the EOQ. One is Baumol method and trial and error method, but we have to do only the Baumol method. Okay. What are the assumptions of the EOQ? There are a few assumptions related to EOQ. Annual requirement is known in advance with a certainty. It says that you know that how much, see, like I told you that your mother knows how much is the monthly consumption, 10 kg. So this 10 kg is known in advance with certainty. This is an assumption of EOQ, right? That the business knows that what is my annual requirement. The word used is annual requirement, okay? The inventory is consumed evenly throughout the year, right? On an even basis. The ordering cost per order remains constant irrespective of the size of order. What is the ordering cost? Sir, I told you this fuel cost is nothing but ordering cost. This fuel cost is nothing but my ordering cost, right? And the storage problem is nothing but my carrying cost. I'll come to this. I'll explain in detail also. Don't worry about it, okay? So it says the fuel cost will remain constant irrespective whether you bring 1 kg, 2 kg, 4 kg, 5 kg. Obviously, sir, it will not depend upon the quantity. The carrying cost is computed as a fixed percentage of the purchase price. We'll come to it. The annual carrying cost is computed on the average inventory ordered. I'll also come to this. So nothing, these are just the assumptions, not much relevant from the examination point of view, and these are not going to be asked in the examination, okay? EOQ is the order size where the sum of annual ordering cost and the annual carrying cost is the least. That is what I told you. EOQ is that point where the fuel cost is neither too high, neither too low, and the storage is not a problem, right? That means the annual ordering cost and the annual carrying cost is the least. Annual ordering cost and annual carrying cost are equal at this level. The purchase price per unit remains constant. That means the price of the potatoes is not going to be changed. That is one assumption of EOQ, right? So, okay, this is something wrongly written here. Okay, annual carrying cost, annual ordering and carrying cost. This is the level of EOQ. This is EOQ. Right, where the annual carrying cost is equal to annual ordering cost. Nothing to worry about it. So this is the formula for EOQ, right? See, this formula is one where we don't have the derivation. Okay, so this is one. This is what I call it as formula. Okay, right? What is the formula? 2 into A into O divided by C and whole root. What is A? A is the annual requirement or consumption or usage of raw material. Now, the most important thing that you need to remember here is we are talking about the raw material only, because what will happen in the examination is they will give you the requirement of the finished goods as well as the raw material to confuse you, and 99.9% of the times what student is doing is they will take the annual requirement of finished good, and that is where the first step of EOQ is wrong, right? So you need to be very careful that A here stands for the annual requirement, and the assumption says annual requirement. We know the annual requirement in advance with certainty. That is the first assumption. Clear? So here the annual requirement or the annual consumption to be taken is of raw material, not the finished goods, sir. Okay. Now, ordering O is the ordering cost per order. Sorry. It is ordering cost per order. That is, what is the fuel cost per order? In one visit, what is the fuel cost? Right? In simple words, if I tell you it ordering cost per order means in one visit to the vegetable market, what is going to be my fuel cost? Clear? Now, the carrying cost per unit per annum. What will be the cost to carry 1 unit of the raw material per annum? That is for the complete year. Clear? Sir, what can be the ordering cost and carrying cost? Sir, give some example. Let's see. What can be the ordering cost? See, now we look from the business point of view. Okay, now what can be the ordering cost? Ordering cost includes the purchase department expenses. Sir, I have a separate purchase department where I have hired 2 or 3 people who are sitting there just for this purpose. To whenever we need the raw material, they will prepare the PO. They will coordinate with the supplier. Sir, please send this raw material. They will send the purchase order. Clear? And I'll be paying salaries to them. Obviously, sir. Cost of collecting the material, that is the cost of bringing the material from the supplier place to our place. Cost of receiving the material, same. Cost of loading and unloading, transit insurance, cost of inspection of material, procurement cost, and transportation inward cost. That means, sir, any cost, listen to it very carefully what I'm saying. Any cost from the moment you place an order with the supplier, involving the telephone cost that you are doing, involving the printing and stationery cost, if it involves something printing and stationery, right? From the moment you place an order with the supplier, you plan to place an order with the supplier till the moment the material is received in your godown or in your factory, right? In between everything is your ordering cost. Clear? Procurement cost, transportation, inward cost. So listen, that's why I told you, from the moment you place an order with the supplier till the moment the material enters your factory or enters your godown, the raw material, we're not talking about the finished goods here, the raw material enters your godown or your factory, everything in between, all the costs, transit insurance, that means if the material gets destroyed on the way from supplier to our factory, on the way, if the material gets destroyed or there is a theft of the material, for that we do the transit insurance. Clear? Everything during that period is your ordering cost. Clear? Now, what is my carrying cost? See, once the material has reached my godown or reached my factory, I have to keep it somewhere. Obviously, sir, I have to keep it somewhere. Say I keep the raw material in my store, right? In the store, I have two storekeepers who look after this material. One is who will receive the material, other is who is looking after all the material, that where to keep that material, right? When to issue that material. I have the storekeeper there. Will that storekeeper work free for me? No, sir, I will be paying salary to him. So the rent of the storeroom can be there. If the storeroom is on a rented building, rent of the storeroom obviously is my carrying cost. Carrying cost means any cost which is incurred to carry the raw material in your factory or in your godown or somewhere, right? To carry the raw material. Storekeeper salary can be there, storekeeper cleaning, storeroom cleaning can be there, handling cost of material in storeroom, electricity bill of the storeroom, obsolescence or perishing loss cost. Everything this is carrying cost, any cost which is incurred. For example, here I can say, see here the storage problem. In this case, we say there is a storage problem for your mother. Now, what is the solution for the storage problem? Your mother says, buy me a new refrigerator. Buy me a new refrigerator, sir. Right? Now, this refrigerator will not come free of cost. This refrigerator is your carrying cost. Right? Now, this refrigerator will run on electricity. The electricity being consumed by this refrigerator is your carrying cost. Clear? This refrigerator will ask for repair and maintenance. This will be your carrying cost. Clear? So the fuel cost is your ordering cost. Till the time you place an order with your father, your mother places an order with your father to bring 1 kg potato, and till the time that potatoes come to your home, any cost in between is your ordering cost. Clear? So this is your ordering cost and this is your carrying cost. Some other formulas, we'll have a look at it later on. I'll tell you what are the other formulas. This much is clear. So this is very important. This formula of EOQ is very, 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 very important, sir. Right? So are you clear with this thing? Because it is very important, sir, to be clear with these things. Now, let's do two practical problems on this. Let's see. Let's come to question number 4. If the price of material is rupees 15 per unit, and this is the price of material, and the annual consumption, this is the price of material, right? And the annual consumption is 4,000 units. The interest and storekeeping charges are 20% of the value, right? And the cost of placing an order and receiving the goods is rupees 60. How much material should be ordered at one time? That is, he is asking you for the EOQ. Clear? He is asking you for what? He is asking for your EOQ. Now, one thing you need to remember here, in the assumption also I told you, where it is, sir. The carrying cost, this point. The carrying cost is computed as a fixed percentage of purchase price, right? Now, see, it will depend upon the quantity and the value of the material that you are carrying, right? The number of stores or the number of godowns you will require. See, you are carrying say 1 crore of raw material. You will require accordingly that much space, right? That much security you will require. If you are, storing heavy items, costly items, you will require that much of security also. You will put the security camera also in the storeroom. That is also your carrying cost. So carrying cost is computed as a fixed percentage of purchase price of raw material. Okay, you need to remember this thing. Coming to the problem now. Now, we have to identify, see, for the EOQ, you need 3 things. One is the annual requirement, second is the ordering cost, and third is the carrying cost. Okay, let's see. Question number 4. For question number 4, you need, what is the annual requirement? Annual requirement is given as 4,000 units. Okay, sir, 4,000 units, right? What is ordering cost? O is your ordering cost, that is given as rupees 60. Now, what is carrying cost? Carrying cost is given as 20% of the value. Value means the price per unit of the raw material, that is 15 per unit. Right? So that is 20% of rupees 15, that is rupees 3. Clear? This much is clear, sir. Now we can calculate EOQ easily. We can calculate EOQ as under root of 2 multiplied by A multiplied by O divided by C, right? So this is 2 multiplied by 4000 units multiplied by O, that is 60, divided by C, that is 3. Is that clear? So you can easily calculate on the calculators. This comes to 400 units. Sir, calculators are allowed? Yes, the calculators are definitely allowed, and all the basic calculators contain the under root formula. Clear? The scientific calculators are not allowed, but the normal calculators are allowed. Nothing to worry about it. Okay. So this is the easiest question. So what you have to remember in EOQs for one or two things, that the carrying cost as a fixed percentage of purchase price, right? And ordering cost and the annual requirement or the annual consumption is of the raw material and not the finished good. This is very, very, very important to remember, right? Now, let's see question number 5. Question number 4 is done now. Question number 5. The following information pertaining to the firm are available. Annual consumption 12,000 units, 360 days. Cost per unit is rupee 1. Cost per order is rupees 12. Inventory carrying cost percentage is 20. Okay, sir. Lead time maximum, normal and minimum days 30, 15 and 5. Daily consumption maximum, normal and minimum 45, 33, 15. Right? That means this is the maximum lead time. This is the normal lead time, and the last one is the minimum lead time. Clear? Same is the case with daily consumption. This is the maximum consumption, this is normal consumption, and the third one is the minimum consumption. He says calculate inventory levels. Wow, sir. Interesting, sir. Interesting, sir. Sir, for the inventory levels, why they have given this information of EOQ? Why they have given this information of EOQ? Sir, when we studied about EOQ, when we studied about inventory levels, right? When we studied about inventory levels, there I used the one term, that is reorder quantity. Reorder quantity. What is reorder quantity, sir? I told you something about the reorder quantity. Sir, reorder quantity is the quantity that is to be ordered at one time. What is EOQ, sir? EOQ is also the quantity that is to be ordered in one time. Sir, then what is the difference between reorder quantity and EOQ? Nothing. Right? That is why I say, sir, you can write it down. Reorder quantity and economic order quantity are the same thing, are one and same unless otherwise specified. Sir, what is the meaning of this last word? What is the meaning of this last line, that is unless otherwise specified? See, if the question specifically says that reorder quantity is this much and EOQ is this much, right, then there will be a difference between reorder quantity and economic order quantity. Economic order quantity tells us what is the actual economic quantity that should be ordered. Reorder quantity is that we are actually ordering, right? So why they are considered same? Because the business will always try to order where its total cost is the minimum. That is, the business will always follow the economic order formula, right? But it can be different. So if the question specifically says that a reorder quantity is different from economic order quantity, then this assumption will not hold good, right? Then you have to take reorder quantity as different and economic order quantity as different. Now, in this question, it is asking the inventory levels. Inventory level means reorder level and everything you have to calculate. When you have to calculate the maximum level, there you need reorder quantity, right? So to calculate the reorder quantity, this information is given. That means you will calculate EOQ that will serve as the reorder quantity. Clear? That will serve as the reorder quantity. Okay, sir. Question number 5. Question number 5, A part. first we'll calculation of EOQ. First, what you have to do is, for the inventory levels, you will have to calculate EOQ or reorder quantity, or what we call it as reorder quantity. Okay. How to calculate, sir? What is the annual requirement? Annual requirement is given to you. Sir, annual requirement is 12,000 units. Okay, sir, 12,000 units. What is ordering cost? Ordering cost is given to you, that is 12. That is cost per order. This is what is required, rupees 12. What is the carrying cost? Carrying cost is given to you, that is 20%. This is given in percentage, 20% of rupee 1. It is to be calculated on the purchase price. So you need to be very careful. 20% of rupee 1, that is 0.20. So you can calculate EOQ from here. That is under root of 2 into A into O divided by C, right? Then it is 2 multiplied by 12,000 multiplied by ordering cost is 12 divided by C is 0.20. This comes to 1200 units. Now you can easily calculate all the inventory levels. You can easily calculate, sir, all the inventory levels. What are the inventory levels? You have to calculate reorder level. For that, maximum consumption into maximum lead time, and it is given to you, sir, straight away, 45 into 30. Sir, now this is your homework. Right? I have told you the concept. This is your homework now. I will give you the answers. Should I give you the answers, or you people will give me the answers? Okay, I'll give you the answers, sir. No issues. I'll give you the answers for this. Your reorder level will be 1350 units. You have to do nothing now, sir. In this question, maximum level, what is going to be the maximum level? It will be 2475 units. Now don't ask for the full solution. Try to solve it, right? Maximum level is reorder level. Reorder level you will calculate in the first part. Plus reorder quantity. Reorder quantity is this EOQ only. Right? Reorder quantity is nothing but the EOQ only, sir. Clear? It will be 2475 units. Then minimum level. Minimum level is 855 units. Then you have the average level. Average level will be 1665 units or 1455 units, right? This is if you follow the formula of maximum plus minimum divided by 2, and this is if you apply the formula of minimum plus half of reorder quantity, right? Now you can do this much. I have given you the answers also. This is very simple now. Right? Because what you are given all the lead times, maximum, normal and minimum lead times are given. Daily consumption is given, right? Maximum consumption, normal consumption and minimum consumption, everything is given to you. What else do you require? Reorder quantity we have calculated. That's why I told you reorder quantity is equal to EOQ. This is another important thing that you have to remember, right? You can write it down in your notebooks. Clear? This much is clear. So with this, the basics of EOQ are done, right? But sir, advanced EOQ is still there. We have to do some other formulas also, other concepts also, sir. We'll be doing this. We'll be doing this and we'll be doing the questions on this after this. Okay. We'll be solving lot of questions on this. A lot of question means question number 6 is there, 7 is there, 8 is there, 9 is there. So all these questions are based on this now, right? Up till question number 9. So 4 questions we'll be doing in the next lecture, along with the few concepts, not the major concepts, few concepts related to EOQ only. Okay. So till then, what you have to do is you have to revise all the concepts. You have to revise the levels of inventory. You have to revise EOQ up till this part, what we have done, right? The revision is very important on the daily basis. What you have to do is you have to revise on the daily basis. Whatever I'm saying, you have to follow this so that you don't have to revise it again and again near the exams. Your concepts are so strong by the time you are ready for the exam. You don't have to revise it again and again. Okay. And how to do revision, you have to read it from the handbooks that you have, right? My handbooks are there. You can get it from the website is this ksjteaching.org, and this question bank you can get it if you are getting the handbooks. I'll provide you the PDF of that, no need to do anything else, right? I'll send you the PDF to your email, whosoever will be buying the handbooks, and others who don't want to have the handbooks, they can get this PDF from the mobile app KSJ Teaching. Okay, right, sir? So see you guys in the next lecture. Till then, stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you so much.